Here is something almost nobody is talking about. And if you eat tomatoes regularly thinking you are doing something powerful for your heart, your circulation, and your energy, you are absolutely right. Tomatoes are one of the most studied foods on earth for vascular health. The science is real. The benefits are real. But here is what nobody told you. The way most people eat tomatoes every single day means their body absorbs almost none of what actually matters. The compound responsible for most of tomatoes' cardiovascular power, the one that directly supports your body's ability to produce nitric oxide, is passing through your body almost untouched. You are eating the tomato, but you are not getting the benefit. And for your heart, your blood pressure, and your energy levels, that difference is not small. Research shows that fixing this one simple mistake can increase your absorption of tomatoes' most critical compound by as much as 10 times. Not 10%, 10 times. I am going to show you exactly what that compound is, why your body cannot access it the way most people eat tomatoes, and 3 simple ways to fix it starting today. My name is Dr. Sarah Mitchell, and here on Wellness Daily I share the kind of evidence-based information that actually moves the needle on your health. No complicated jargon, no fear, just the honest science your body needs. Stay with me until the end. The third method I am going to share is the one most people completely overlook, and it is the simplest change you will make all week. Let me start with something I want you to understand clearly, because once you see it, you will never look at a tomato the same way again. Inside your body right now, there is a molecule that determines how well your blood moves, how much oxygen your tissues receive, how steady your blood pressure stays, and how much energy you actually feel in your body from morning to night. That molecule is called nitric oxide. Picture your blood vessels like a network of flexible tubes running through your entire body. When those tubes are open, relaxed, and clear, blood flows the way it is supposed to, smoothly, freely, without pressure building up, without your heart straining to push against resistance. That is exactly what nitric oxide does. It signals the walls of your blood vessels to relax and open, so everything flows the way it should. Your brain receives what it needs to stay sharp. Your muscles get the oxygen they need to feel strong. Your heart does not have to work overtime. Your blood pressure stays where it should be. Now here is the part most people have never been told. As you get older, your body naturally produces less and less nitric oxide. Research published in peer-reviewed journals shows that nitric oxide availability in the body can decline by as much as 50% between your 30s and your 50s. That is not a minor shift. That is half of the molecule your entire vascular system depends on, quietly disappearing. And you feel it, not all at once, gradually, slowly. You feel it in the way your energy does not quite come back after a hard day the way it used to. You feel it in the way your blood pressure numbers have started creeping in a direction you do not like. You feel it in the way your body just seems to need more effort to do less. That decline is real, it is documented in the science, and it is one of the most important things you can address through what you eat every single day. This is where the tomato enters the picture. And this is where most people get it completely wrong. Tomatoes contain one of the most extensively studied cardiovascular compounds in all of nutritional science. It is called lycopene. Lycopene is the pigment that gives tomatoes their deep red color, and it is far more than just a dye. Research published in the journal Nutrients, analyzing data from a 9-year cohort follow-up study, found that lycopene consumption was meaningfully correlated with reduced cardiovascular disease risk. Studies examining carotenoids from tomato extracts, of which lycopene is the primary compound, showed that they directly improved endothelial function, which is the function of the inner lining of your blood vessels, the exact place where nitric oxide is produced. The research showed something remarkable. Tomato carotenoids, led by lycopene, were associated with increased nitric oxide release from those blood vessel walls and decreased endothelin, a compound that constricts your blood vessels and works against your circulation. One pathway increases nitric oxide, another simultaneously reduces the compound that fights against it, both moving in the right direction at the same time. Clinical studies showed that tomato consumption reduced blood pressure in patients with grade 1 hypertension and improved the antioxidant status in the blood of healthy women. This is not fringe research. This is peer-reviewed science, published in major journals, confirmed across multiple study designs. Lycopene does not just sit passively in the blood. It travels to the inner lining of your blood vessels, where it activates the enzyme responsible for manufacturing nitric oxide. Think of it like hitting the ignition on a system that has been idling. That system switches on, production increases, and your blood vessels feel the difference. But here is where almost every person eating tomatoes for their health is leaving most of that benefit on the table. Stay with me right here, because what I am about to tell you is the piece that changes everything. This is the part where people close the video thinking they already know. They do not. And if you have been eating tomatoes for years and wondering why you are not feeling the difference you expected, this is exactly why. Lycopene is fat soluble. Two words that matter more than anything else in this entire video. Here is what fat soluble means in language that actually makes sense. Think about what happens when you try to mix oil and water together in a glass. You stir it, shake it, and the moment you stop, it separates. The oil rises to the top every time, no matter what you do. That is not a cooking problem. That is chemistry. Oil and water do not mix. Your digestive system works by the same principle. Lycopene, the compound in tomatoes that activates your nitric oxide system, is built by nature to travel through fat. Without fat present in the same meal, your digestive system simply cannot absorb it properly. The lycopene moves through your small intestine and exits your body without ever reaching your bloodstream. Your blood vessels never feel it. Your nitric oxide levels stay exactly where they were. You ate the tomato, you got the fiber, you got the hydration. But the most important cardiovascular compound, the one that activates your body's nitric oxide production, passed right through you. Now here is the other side of that, and the research is genuinely remarkable. When a healthy fat is present alongside lycopene in the same meal, absorption can increase by 5 to 10 times. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that adding a fat source to tomatoes dramatically increased the absorption of lycopene compared to eating tomatoes without fat. 5 to 10 times is not a rounding error. For a person who has been eating tomatoes alone, plain, the way most of us do, that is the difference between getting a fraction of the benefit and getting nearly the full effect. That is the difference between blood pressure numbers that stay the same and ones that actually move. The difference between feeling a genuine improvement in your energy and wondering why nothing is changing. The difference between your blood vessels getting the signal they need and spending another month missing it entirely. Imagine two people sitting down to the same lunch. Both eat tomatoes every day. Both think they are doing the same thing for their cardiovascular health. The first person slices tomatoes onto a dry plate and eats them as they are. The second person learned one thing and started drizzling a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil over those same tomatoes before eating them. 6 months later, same food, same tomatoes, but one person is giving their body 5 to 10 times more of the molecule that supports nitric oxide production, blood pressure regulation, and vascular health. The only variable between them was 1 tablespoon. That is what we are talking about today. Here is exactly what happens inside your body when you combine tomatoes with a healthy fat, and I am going to explain it without a single complicated term. The moment lycopene from the tomato and the healthy fats from olive oil reach your small intestine together, the fat molecules wrap around the lycopene like a protective carrier. Without that carrier, lycopene has nowhere to go. It is standing at the edge of the road, trying to get somewhere it cannot reach. The fat is the vehicle, and once it has that vehicle, two things happen simultaneously. First, the fat slows the movement of the lycopene through your intestinal wall, giving the absorption sites the time they need to pull the lycopene fully into your bloodstream. Second, it physically enables the uptake that simply cannot happen in the absence of fat. Without fat, the system is incomplete. With fat, it is working the way nature designed it to work. Once lycopene reaches your bloodstream, it travels directly to the endothelium, that paper-thin inner lining coating every blood vessel in your body. There, it activates the enzyme that produces nitric oxide. It also reduces oxidative stress in those vessel walls, which matters because oxidative stress degrades the nitric oxide your body does produce. So lycopene is doing two things at once, turning up production and protecting what is already being made. Extra virgin olive oil, when you use it as your fat carrier, does not just carry the lycopene. It also brings its own protective plant compounds, oleocanthal and oleuropein, that have been shown in clinical research to independently support endothelial function and reduce vascular inflammation. So you are not just improving absorption. You are triggering the nitric oxide system from two entirely different directions at the same time. That is the synergy. That is why this combination is different from anything you will read about in a standard nutrition article. Now let me give you 3 simple ways to use this combination starting today. No special equipment, nothing expensive, just real food, used the right way. The first method is the most direct and the most powerful. Slice 2 medium tomatoes into thick rounds. Arrange them on a plate and drizzle 1 full tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil directly over the top. Add a pinch of sea salt and a small amount of freshly cracked black pepper. Let it sit for 5 minutes before you eat it. That 5-minute rest matters. It gives the oil time to fully coat the tomato surface and begin interacting with the lycopene before your digestion starts. Eat this alongside any meal you already have at the same time each day. Stack it onto an existing habit and it becomes automatic within a week. The consistency is what produces the result. The second method is for people who want something that tastes different and also want to amplify the effect even further. Combine diced tomatoes with extra virgin olive oil, a generous squeeze of fresh lemon juice, chopped garlic, and sea salt. The lemon juice brings vitamin C, which research has shown actively supports the same endothelial system that produces nitric oxide, protecting it from damage and keeping it functioning efficiently. The garlic adds its own sulfur-based compounds that work on a completely separate pathway to support blood vessel relaxation and circulation. Together, this is not just a salad dressing. It is 3 separate mechanisms all working at the same time in the same direction. Spoon it generously over grilled chicken, over eggs, over whole grain bread, or simply eat it on its own. It keeps in the refrigerator for 2 days. Prepare it once, and it is ready every time you sit down to eat. The third method is the one most people never think of, and I want you to carry this one with you. Cooking tomatoes in olive oil, not boiling them, not steaming them, but actually cooking them low and slow in a good extra virgin olive oil does something counterintuitive. Cooking actually increases the bioavailability of lycopene compared to raw tomatoes. The heat breaks down the cell walls of the tomato, releasing more lycopene from the plant matrix. And because the olive oil is right there, coating every bit of that released lycopene, the absorption is even more complete than with raw tomatoes and oil combined. A simple tomato sauce cooked low and slow in olive oil for 20 minutes delivers lycopene in a form your body can absorb more completely than almost any other preparation. Use it over eggs, use it over grilled fish, use it as a base for soups. It does not need to be complicated. It just needs to be consistent. Here is what I want every person watching this today to carry forward. Your body's ability to produce nitric oxide is not fixed. It is not something that simply declines with age and stays gone. It responds directly and measurably to what you give it. And when you start giving it the right combinations, foods working together the way they were always designed to, you feel the difference. Better circulation, more sustained energy through the day, steadier blood pressure numbers, a level of physical vitality that you may have quietly started to believe was behind you. It is not. The tools to protect your cardiovascular health have been sitting in your kitchen the entire time. A ripe tomato, a bottle of extra virgin olive oil, that is where the science points. Simple, affordable, available in any market in any country in the world. 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil over your tomatoes every single day. That is the message. Small habit, profound biology, real results when you stay consistent. If this gave you something you can actually use today, take 2 seconds and give this video a thumbs up. It helps Wellness Daily reach more people who need this information. Subscribe so you never miss a new video, and leave a comment right now. Tell me where in the world you are watching from and whether you are going to try the tomato and olive oil combination today. I read every comment, and hearing from people all over the world who are making these choices for their health is genuinely why I do this work. Before you close this, there is a video on your screen right now that I want you to watch next. The people who watch it tell me it was the one that actually shifted how they felt week after week. Watch it now. Your future self will thank you for it. This video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. Please consult your physician before making significant changes to your diet, especially if you have existing cardiovascular conditions or are currently taking medication.